Hi everyone. Hi Dipna. My name is Theresa and I have been a platinum student now for about 6 weeks. And I wanted to do this video just to share with everyone a little bit of my journey and to show people that in such a short time you can achieve certain things, and that's what I'd like to share with you now. So here goes. Um, I felt at the beginning of this year, and I felt for quite a few years now, that I have lost the person that I want to be, that I know that I am, and the person that is so excited about life and things that happen. I've told myself that, for many years I'm a victim, I'm this, I'm that, and, it hasn't worked for me. So it was time for a change. And I started to look at changing this year. I had moved states. I bought this terribly run down house in uh, Queensland, and I decided that I was going to work on that house and make it beautiful and, sell it for a wonderful profit. Um, and when I started to do that, a few things came to me, and I realized that one, maybe I need to work on myself before I work on a house. And two, uh, I don't have the knowledge to know what I'm doing and how to make this work for me. And I started to become very scared that I was just going to lose everything. And I had decided that I need to go on a little journey, and that journey was to discover, I guess, what I needed to do to become a better person, to become a better version of me, a version of me that I would be proud of. Because seriously, over the last few years, I just I started to drop my standards. I started to do things that I would never have done, and I started to become somebody that I didn't want to be. So my journey started with a seminar, a live seminar with Tony Robbins, and from there I started scrolling, looking for um, courses, for mentors, for coaches, for something, so that I could increase my knowledge and start learning more about what I wanted to do. And little did I know that that would send me on this journey, and the journey with I Love Real Estate, where I found Dibna scrolling through Facebook one day and saw that there was a 1 hour seminar, might have been two, I can't remember now, on what Dipna does and how she loves real estate and how she started and what she believes is happening in the market. And you know it made sense. It made sense. And by the end of the seminar, I had joined Ultimate, and I was excited, I guess, but I think more to the point, I was scared. There was, change is scary. Change is something that I normally would just hit head on and go for it. But over the years, I've started to put up a lot of barriers and started to believe a lot of things that, really are not true. Um, and so I started doing the step by step. And I guess the hardest thing for me was that I don't like asking for help. And the fact that I reached out and joined Ultimate was a big step. Um, I still think it was too much, and I still didn't know what I was doing, but I was willing to give it a go. And my next step from that, after talking to some of the I Love Real Estate team, was to join Quantum. Once I did that, I thought, wow, this is great. I'm on my journey. Let's go. No, I don't know what happened. I guess that self-doubt, that self-talk, that, you can't do this. What are you doing? Like, there's so much information here. I didn't know whether to turn left or right or what to do. Like, honestly, I started to tell myself, this is ridiculous. You've just wasted all this money. There's no way you can do this. And I ended up getting a phone call from John, who is a I Love Real Estate team member, and he said to me that maybe I should look at platinum. Platinum is, the next step. It was, to me, a lot of money, and I was like, gee, can I? Like, seriously, is this something that I need? And I was umming and ahhing, and, I put it aside for a little bit, and I said to John, I'm just about to turn 50 years old, and I'm going on a little holiday, so maybe we can talk about this when I get back. So we organised a time. I went on holidays with some girlfriends, and it was lovely. I turned 50, but I guess that self-talk, that, what are you doing with your life? You've just turned 50, and what have you got to show for it? Started to sort of eat away at me, and I became very emotional, which, to be honest, I have been quite emotional for the last several years. I've lost a lot of confidence. I've cry all the time, and I guess I never did. We were never, a family that shared our emotions or spoke about them. So I've taken that into my adult life, and I've just gone with it, and yeah, it hasn't served me well at all. So I spoke to John when I got back, and I didn't know. I was umming and ahhing, and I really didn't believe that this could be a possible journey for me. I don't know what happened. I lost motivation. I lost, my energy. I wasn't looking after myself, and I just felt horrible. And John just knew the right questions to ask me, and he let me have a rant. He said, in fact, have a rant about your life, rant about what you hate, what you want, whatever, just have a rant. And I started, and this amazing thing happened. I just kept going, and I ranted, if that's a word, but I just kept going, and I started crying, and I was so embarrassed. I'm so sorry, John. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've got this, I've got that. This has happened. This has been in my life, blah, blah, blah. And do you know what he said to me? And I'll never forget this. I believe that these 4 words have been the point where I just changed. He said to me, these are all excuses. Wow. I was speechless. I just didn't know what to say. And I thought about it for a minute, and it stopped me in my tracks. I was taken aback. I honestly had never had anyone say that to me. And I realized wow. They are. They're excuses. So I keep giving myself excuses of why I can't do this, why I can't achieve that, why I can't be this type of person. Well, they're my excuses. Only I can change that. And I think that was the moment that I I changed. I thought about it, and I said to him, I said, look, I think this platinum program could be for me, but it's a lot of money. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of commitment. It's a lot of accountability. All the things that what I needed, and it was scary. And I said to him, I need to think about it. And he's like, yeah, sure, go ahead, think about it. Come back to me in a week, and let me know. But in the meantime, send me your declaration. I'm like, what? A declaration of what? A declaration of what I want my life to be. Okay, no worries. That's fine. So I thought about it, and I couldn't write one. I had no idea what I wanted. I had no idea what I wanted my life to be, how I wanted it to be, who I wanted it to be. And it took me a few days to actually sit down and think about it. And I wrote my declaration, and it felt good. It was only 3 lines, but it felt, I don't know, it felt like I had actually made a statement, and now I've sent it to somebody. I need to stick to it. And I guess that's where all this accountability comes into it, because it shifted me somehow, somewhere. And once I sent that through, I kept thinking about it, and I was like, well, I made a statement now. I've declared what I've wanted. It's time to do something. And it just so happened to be that I turned 50, and I had treated myself to an overseas holiday through Europe and the UK, and it was amazing. But while I was on that trip, I kept thinking about this declaration. I kept looking at people and their lives and what they were doing, and I met some amazing people. I went to amazing places, and I ate some amazing food. Let me tell you, it was awesome. But I also started to realize that I love this. I love traveling, and I love meeting these people, and it made me feel good. It made me feel happy. And honestly, I don't think I felt that happy for a long time. And I laughed, and, I sang, and I just let go. And it was something that I think I needed, because by the time I came back, I had emailed John, and I had put in my application and said, I'm doing this. Platinum is something that I need. I need somebody to hold my hand, somebody to make me accountable, somebody to, that I can look up to, that I can get this information from, and somebody that, will steer me in the right direction instead of me just going, I can't do it, it's too much, it's too much. Well, actually, it's not. So I applied, and a few days later, to my surprise, I was accepted. And since then, so that was like 6 weeks ago, and since then, I can honestly say things have changed. I have more energy. I'm more motivated. I, have a better outlook on life. I've learned that all these limiting beliefs that I've had my whole life are crap. Literally, they're crap. Who needs that stuff? Like, seriously, you just change, you can change the way that you think. And it has shifted me into a new direction. I have, since starting, I have met new friends. I have a new family. I have a new direction. I have a direction. I have a goal. Never in my life have I really sat down and worked out my goals, what I really, really want. I've had little goals where I think I've fundled my way through and I've achieved them. And I know that I can do it. But, just to find that purpose in life, and that purpose being me. That's amazing. That's a huge achievement for me because, I've spent my whole life, I've worked for other people. I've worked myself to the bone, to the point where my health has suffered so much. But I always believed, I grew up believing, well, the only way you're going to be worthy in life is to please other people. Please them and you'll feel good and you'll be successful. Yeah, no. That hasn't worked for me at all. So now I used to be a people pleaser. Not anymore. I'm a Theresa pleaser. And, I have been able to stand up for myself. I've started working at a new job and I swore in the last several years that I did not want to work for another person, regardless, of what they pay me or what they do. But in the short term, I need to. I need to so that I can, achieve the goals that I want to. So I need to make some sacrifices right now. And these sacrifices are going to get me where I want to go. And it's actually knowing that has helped me get back into the workforce, get a job, negotiate a very good wage to start with, and know that this is just the beginning of my new journey to get to my goals. So that's a big achievement for me. Another big achievement is that I've started to put in healthy boundaries. I've never had boundaries. It's, I need to make you happy, so I will do whatever I need to do to make you happy. But where has that gotten me? I've just turned 50. Yes, I own my own home, but she's an old girl, for starters. And, I'm not in a relationship. I don't have a family of my own. I have a very fractured family, in fact. And, I've never had positive long-term relationships because of all these limiting beliefs that I've had about my life. So in saying that, I guess one of my biggest achievements so far is to, one, recognize that I have all these limiting beliefs, and two, that, well, they just are not beliefs at all. It's something I've made up in my head, and there are so many facts that go against my beliefs. So I need to change my way of thinking. And that's something that I've started to do. And by doing that, I've started to be more confident. I've started to not be a crybaby. Like the last several years, I just started to burst into tears all the time, you know. And I was like, why? Why am I doing this? Well, maybe it's because I've had enough. And it's time to sort of, look at things differently and approach things differently. And the only way that I was going to do that is to ask for help. And asking for help, I achieved that by joining Platinum, because there are so many people to help me now, and there are people that are on the same wavelength as me and who are trying to achieve their goals as well. So to ask for help and not be this person who has to be so independent and has to do everything herself. And, I don't need a husband. I don't need a family. I don't need this. I don't need that. Well, they're just silly things that I kept telling myself my whole life, because things weren't working out the way that I wanted them to. So asking for help is another big achievement that I have started to do and will continue to do, because that is how I'm going to reach my goals. Another huge achievement for me would be the fact that I'm just making this video. There is not a chance in hell previously that I would have sat here and videoed myself so that I can become vulnerable to all the people out there and tell them how I feel and what and who I was, and that I need to change and to move on to be a better person. I would never have videoed this. I would never have expressed the things that I'm expressing here today. But I know that, as Dipna says, you need to be uncomfortable to move forward. And if I had tried to do this 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I couldn't have done it. I would have burst into tears. I would have been too scared to even put myself out here, to even try and be vulnerable. And in the last few weeks, I've learned that vulnerability, it's a strength. It's something that, shows that you are a strong person. And I need to let myself be that. I had my first monthly meeting about 3.5 weeks ago, and I remember talking to this lovely lady who said to me, what are your goals? What are you aiming to do? And I said to her, I know that I need to look after myself. And then I burst into tears. And again, why am I so scared? Like, I had no idea why I was doing this, and I sort of still don't, but that's part of my journey, because even though I love real estate, it to me is going to help me not work for somebody else, to work for myself, and to give me a lifestyle that I have now dreamed up, that I have now realized that I've wanted. It's so much more about my personal growth, and without personal growth, then I'm not going to be able to achieve these goals. So asking for help and realizing that I need to grow personally is my biggest achievement. And it's okay to cry and to be proud of myself and to allow this journey to happen. So even though it's just been 6 weeks, I so look forward to where this journey is going to take me. And I look forward to expressing myself and to achieving all those other things, because I don't need a deal to become a better person. I don't need to earn so much money to become a better person, because for me right now, my personal growth is more important. And I really, really look forward to where this journey is going to take me. So don't feel that your achievements are too little or not enough, because every little achievement that you do is a step closer to where you want to be and to the person you want to be. So I'm all for it. And I'm so grateful that I'm a part of this community, and I have coaches and I have mentors and I have new friends. And I have the support that I need. So thank you, Dipna. Thank you, I Love Real Estate. And I cannot wait to see what happens in 12 months' time, when I can look back on this and just go, yeah, I knocked that one out of the park, because that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, that's my story. Thank you.